Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Coffee Time with Dave and Ryan. And today we got a special guest, Miss Jessica, all the way from Arizona, right, Jessica? Is that right? No. Where are you at, Jessica?
I'm in California, but
You're in Cali, okay.
Hi.
And we're super excited to have Jessica here with us today. We're going to talk about perspective. But first, Ryan, what's up, man?
Yeah.
You got something new going on there, brother.
Oh yeah, I put on braces, eh? Do I say it correctly in English? Braces?
Yeah. That's it. Yep.
It's like I went back to 16 years old. I had these cuties for 2.5 years when I was 16. And then they got crooked again. So I decided, okay, I want it perfect. So I'm putting back on for 4 months maybe. So yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty excited that I'm going to have the perfect smile in 4 months.
you already got the perfect smile.
You know, many times I'm perfectionist like you.
The curse and the blessing at the same time. Jessica, how are you, dear?
I'm doing really well today. It's so nice out here. The sun is shining. It's been raining for a few days, so I'm excited about the weather.
Okay. The sun is always nice. It's been raining off and on here in Kalamata for a little while, but okay, this is part of life. So I can't get too down and change my perspective of life because it rains. Jessica, you and I are both in a group together. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Right. So this year I decided to sign up for Les Brown's Power Voice course. And during the course, I started going on Facebook and I found this man named Dave wearing Versace. And I just was like, who is this guy? And I had to meet him. I had to know him. And he has a Power Voice group where we just help each other, we boost each other up. And I think that's really nice and important, especially during these times, to just always be motivating and uplifting each other. The energy exchange will always come back to you.
Yeah, I agree. I think the group is amazing. I think everybody in the group is amazing. We keep growing, and there's just great positive energy in there. And what you said about supporting each other, and I've always, being in the Air Force for 24 years, you're taught that you don't leave anyone behind. You always extend that hand out and you bring everyone with you. If you're in a leadership position, everyone that follows you needs to be following you because they want to, not because you're commanding them to. That's the best option, when you want to be following somebody that's in the leadership position. And so I don't know. I really like the group. I'm really glad that we were able to get it rolling, and there's great momentum. There's great momentum in the group, and of course the training is great. So yeah, I'm glad that you and I met, and you really had a great story. So during the Power Voice group meetings on Sunday, we all do our speeches, and it's our group. I'm not leading the group, but I kind of moderate the group. And so Jessica, when you did your speech, this particular one that you're going to do for everyone, I was blown away. And I've heard a lot of great speeches. I think that I'm a pretty good speaker, and you just something about what you did resonated with me. And I know that it's going to resonate with other people. I'm 1,000,000,000% sure that it's going to really resonate with people, and people are going to change their perspective, because that's what it's really about, is being self-reflective enough to go, you know what I'm doing just isn't really working out for me. And it could be the big things or the little things in life. It doesn't, everyone thinks that, oh, I got to be self-reflective and meditate and go to a Buddhist camp and all that. No, that's not what it's all about. It's about whatever steps that you personally want to take to be self-reflective and change perspective in a micro or big way, right? It doesn't matter. But I think what you're going to bless us with and bestow upon us is going to really kind of home in, right? Kind of just go, wow, I really like that. So
No,
Ryan,
I haven't heard the story yet, but I'm so eager to hear it now, I'm together with everybody else in the coffee here, apart from you two and your group friends.
yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to see all these, feeling and new perspective and the story.
Well, so Jessica, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you so much for that. That was so nice. I really want everybody to, if they have a minute, just get a piece of paper and a pen or a marker. I'll give you a couple of seconds to get that. So what we're gonna do today is a little guided drawing. This is something I love doing. I think it's so nice to put a little bit of art in your day. And so the first step we're gonna do is draw a circle. Okay, so my circle looks a little bit weird and that's okay. One of my friends asked me, what's perfect in nature? And that really got me to think, perfection is really only your perception. So the next step is to draw a bridge inside of that circle. And so when we think of bridges, we're trying to connect something. Sometimes the hustle and bustle of daily life causes challenges in the mind that we can't connect. And that's the purpose of the bridge, is to connect something. Step 1 to step 2. We are faced with new problems, new challenges every day. And sometimes we let those things consume us. But the bridge can be so elementary, as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, let's stop and take a look at this photo one more time. You might be wondering, why am I drawing this? It looks so weird. The answer is simple. And if you already know what the next step is, then congratulations, you're 100% aligned and in tune with yourself. And if you're not, that's okay, because sometimes we have to step outside of ourselves when we're faced with brand new challenges. So the next step is to draw 2 more circles under the bridge. Okay, and at this point, I want you to stop and close your eyes. Think about all the times you were faced with these problems, these challenges. Every time the door was closed, every time someone told you no, or every time you had lack mentality and couldn't believe in yourself. I just want you to pause and take a deep breath and exhale. Now open your eyes. Did you show up for yourself today? Are you ready to cross the bridge? And if so, go ahead and flip the page. Sometimes it's just as simple as stepping outside of yourself and flipping the script. And if you got an image just like mine, congratulations. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself today, for holding space for yourself today. You're ready, and the world is yours. That's beautiful, Dave.
What's that?
What is that? What do you mean, what is that? That's a happy face with hair and a tongue sticking out. Don't talk about that's my bridge. That's my happy face.
I thought it was a cigar.
Yeah, that's a celebratory thing because he already crossed the bridge.
Yes.
Okay.
Jessica,
So
I love that.
I put braces on mine then.
I love it so much. I did that for my son this morning and he smiled so big and I was just like, wow, that's the ultimate feeling, is just not even thinking about the challenges anymore, just keeping it simple.
How old is your son?
He's 7.
7. Oh. Tell us, Jessica, what inspired you to do that? Did you see that somewhere? Did you think about that on your own? What inspired you to do this?
So this symbol is a really common symbol that I think we take for granted. How I came to this is I was faced with a little bit of challenges on my own, especially being in COVID times. Everything just seemed impossible, and I was just always filled with too many ideas in my head. I do a lot of artwork, and there were days where I even doubted my own technical ability to finish these portraits. So what I do when I get to there is just I start doodling, I start closing my eyes and I'll meditate and I'll be like, okay, what is the problem? What is the problem? And that kind of just showed up one night. It was the week of my birthday and I was just like, God, what am I supposed to do this year? I don't know how I'm going to get out of this mentality, this lack of mentality that I have. Sometimes I don't even feel good in myself. And this little doodle just kind of came up and I just started laughing. So that's really just what it is. It's just the simplicity of letting go and not even thinking sometimes, but staying in the driver's seat. But sometimes you need to pull over to the side of the road and recollect yourself.
Mm. Just to think a little bit. Ryan, what'd you think, brother?
You know, when you face, actually, we had this discussion, I think yesterday, Dave, we were talking about.
We did.
And it was totally something that we totally just started discussing, Dave and me, and not we weren't discussing for this coffee today. It was about when you face difficulties and hardships, and especially when you face multiple hardships simultaneously at the same time. So we were discussing about how we deal with these things, what we can do. And what I've noticed many times in my life is that when I give to the situation some time and just get a little away from it, like create some distance between my brain and the situation, at some point I will relax and the perspective will change, because it's a different thing to be inside the problem and have it all over you, and a different thing to get a little bit away mentally and have some time and some space to breathe and to think straight. And then you understand at some point that it's not that bad, or it's not the end of the world. There are solutions most of the times, not always, because if you lose someone, there is no solution to this particular thing. But by creating some space and giving some time for your brain, this is a way I have found many times in my life that works for me. What about you, Dave? What is how you handle things like that?
I hate everything and everyone. No. Hey, you know what? It's funny I say that though, because I grew up hating everything and everyone. I literally grew up just absolutely empty inside, and I didn't care about people. And so when I was putting together some notes for today, I was thinking about the first time something like profoundly changed my perspective. And it was after I joined the Air Force. I went to Bangladesh. And Bangladesh is a very poor country. And I had no idea. It was the second time I had been out of the country. The first time was to Italy. Italy was beautiful, amazing, everything that you would ever think of. Bangladesh, I didn't know anything about. But we were going there, me and a couple other people and the general that we were working for, and they go to pick us up at the airport, right? And it was a huge military escort. And so we get in the Humvees, and there's these big old, armored car, a car with M60 on the top, you know, like this, and we're flying through the city. And I'm talking like if somebody's in the way, they're getting run the hell over flying, right? And there's people all over the place. And I notice, man, there's so much poverty. There are people like out in the street, just sleeping on the street, you know? And so as we're speeding through the city, I notice these things, and there's a lot of people. And we get to the hotel, get all checked in and everything. And we all decided, hey, let's go out and go to the bazaar. So me and a couple other guys, we walk outside of the hotel. The hotel's all armed, right? Armed security. And we have an escort that's from Bangladesh with us. And as we go out, there's a bunch of little kids, right? Mister, come here, mister. And they're grabbing you by your hand, right? Mister, come, I take you to bazaar. Mister, I take you. And we're like, what the hell is going on here? Come, mister. But I'll tell you at the end here, I'll tell you something, what changed my perspective. And they're telling, you know, mister, we're going, okay. And they're taking us around the bazaar. Buy here, buy this guy, buy this. Okay, we're getting stuff, we're getting trinkets and, you know, souvenirs to take back. And there had to have been about 10 little kids all around us. And each little kid grabbed one of us. There's 3, 4 of us, grabbed us by our hand to take us, right? And the other kids are following. And we're just like, what the heck is going on? It was kind of a surreal experience. I didn't expect that. And as we left out of the bazaar, we took this other street to come back up to the hotel. And it's a pretty major street. It was actually the street that we were flying down with the military escort. And I saw kids and families sleeping on the ground with cows. Cows are sacred in Bangladesh, right? In India, all of that area, cows are sacred. So they don't eat beef. And the cows just kind of were roaming around. You were lucky. They were telling us you were lucky if you lived in a straw hut. And we saw the straw huts on one side of the street. And then the other side of the street, people just kind of sleeping, right? They had blankets and stuff. And I said, oh my goodness. This is what homelessness is. This is what real challenge is. I grew up in a bad situation, really bad, but I had never gone to sleep hungry, you know, not starving at least. There were locks on the cabinets in some of the group homes. And of course, when you're locked up in juvenile detention, you don't eat until they give you the tray or you get out your cell. But I was never starving. I never slept on dirt. I was never homeless. The closest I've come to homeless was sleeping in a trailer for a few months until I can get to retest to get into the Air Force. And even then it was a trailer. Okay, I had a roof, I had stuff. I cleaned it and set it all up. It was in a field, but whatever. I got used to roaches. They actually taste good. Oh, I'm kidding. But it changed. That experience changed my perspective for life. For life. Because no matter what I'm going through, I think my destiny could have been way different. I talk a lot. If you guys know me, I talk a lot about destiny, right? My destiny could have been way different because I could have been one of those kids saying, hey, mister, waiting for me to give them a couple of Bangladeshi coins, you know, $5, $10, $15 worth. And that was going to last them for the month, for 2, 3 months. I don't know. But I could have been born into that, and I wasn't. Even though I was born into a bad situation, it wasn't that bad, right? And it's not just about glass half empty versus glass half full. I think that's an easy analogy, right? We could all say that crap, but when it comes down to it, it's way deeper than that. Your perspective, what you let into your mind, how you deal with COVID, being stuck in the house, right? I have friends that are not dealing with COVID and being restricted very well. I'll put this out there, Ryan, you're not dealing with it very well. You don't like it.
Yeah, I am big in freedom, so I like to do things completely freely.
So
But you know,
when you
it's
think about, hold on,
it's
Ryan,
as you said about perspective. It's if you wanna focus on good or bad, because you can always find something good to focus on or something bad to focus on, no matter what. If it's your baddest moment or your best moment, you can always find both.
well, you know what happens is people get fixated, right? Look, we're all human beings. We all do this. We get stuck in a trajectory, right? We get stuck in this, I hate this COVID shit. I'm tired of it. I want to go outside. I want to go shopping. I want to go to the movies. I want to go to the mall. I want to see my friends. I'm used to going out for coffee every weekend and dinners and all of this. And then we get stuck with this, right? And then all of a sudden, this is all we're thinking about. And it's so easy. You guys have done it. I've done it. It's so easy to just get stuck in this path, this trajectory of I don't even call it negative. It's just, it is, right? The truth is you're restricted right now. The truth is you're going through hard times with your teenagers. The truth is you just suffered a loss. That's the truth. But sometimes you get stuck and you can't break out of it because you don't even realize it, right? You wake up in the morning, you go to sleep in the morning, and you're still thinking the same shit, right? I think we all have done that. And so hopefully, Jessica, what you just did, right? Making a bad circle, right? A bad upside down circle into a nice smile with a cigar or a tongue, whatever you want to say, with some curly hair, because I got curly hair. Hopefully you could turn that frown upside down and get unstuck and stop fixating on the shit that you can't control, because there's so much we can't control. So much. It's called Locus of Control. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Have you guys heard of that? Locus of Control.
Mm-hmm. But what you can't control is your perspective.
You can absolutely control your perspective on whatever is going on, whatever it is, and take action.
And you know, something that helps when you're dealing with hard stuff is to look around and check people that are in worse position than you. And I actually noticed these days people in these kind of positions around me. I was seeing an old man in his wheelchair. He was just sitting on his garden, looking outside, not being truly able to enjoy. He was really old. He was on a wheelchair. Then I noticed someone else that had, his mother had health issues. He was dealing with the hospital and this kind of stuff. So imagine when you're dealing with this kind of things, and the perspective that helps is that, look, there are worse situations than the one you are right now.
I'm gonna challenge that a little bit, man. I don't like that thought, because the reason why I say that is because there's always worse.
Yeah.
No matter if it's an inch worse or miles worse, there's always worse. And if you focus your energy on there's always worse, you can't necessarily focus on your energy, the energy of this can be better, right? This truly can be better. How can I make it better? Well, I changed the way I feel about it. I gained better perspective over the fact that, yeah, okay, COVID's going to go away. I'm not going to be stuck in the house all day, all night for the rest of my life, right? I'm not going to be without a job forever because I'm going to go find one. We kind of give up sometimes and give up trying to change our thought pattern, right? Because we're fixated. Jessica, what do you think?
I do like that idea. I feel like there's a lot of things that you can't control. And I just want to kind of tail off of what you said is basically you can reinvent your reality, whether it's through your imagination or even changing your environment. So, one challenge that I did for myself this year to shift my perspective was the 2190 challenge. I don't know if you ever heard of that. You do something for 21 days to form a habit, and then you do it for another 90 days, and it just becomes a natural thing. So, I found that walking around my neighborhood was nice, and I kept going up the hill, and I found this trail all the way at the end that leads into the canyon. So it's like a hilly track, and they paved it out so you can walk up there. So I did that for 21 days in the summer, and it was really, really hot out here. But I just said, I'm going to show up for myself anyway. There's a lot of things that are going on that I really don't like, and there's no way I can control it. But, I'm going to do it anyway because I'm going to have me at the end of the day. I have to step up for me. So I did that, and then I kept doing it for 90 days. And then when I don't do it, my body literally feels weird. Like, oh, you didn't work out today. What's going on? Now I'm sore. And I'm just like, what a weird concept. But it's literally like the shifting of your perspective. It also includes changing your environment and showing up for yourself.
Yeah.
Because the government, COVID is not going to show up for you, but you can show up for you.
Yep. Yep. I love that. Reinvent your reality. I hashtag Jessica, reinvent your reality. I love it. That's the truth, huh, Brian?
Yeah. As far as what you challenged me just 2 minutes before ago, you told about not changing how you feel. So the reason I say, look, that there is something worse than where you are is to feel grateful. So change your emotions to gratitude, and from a gratitude position, get your situation better. So we are talking about the same thing. This is my process.
Okay.
Imagine if you focus on people or situations that are better than you. So you are in a bad position and you think, oh, the rich people or the healthy people or the people that are full of friends. I wish I was like that, but it might make you feel bad that you aren't. It's not motivating for everybody, this thought. It might be a target, a goal to get there, but you feel like, oh, I wish I had that. I hadn't, and you feel bad many times. So this is why I said, go check, get in a gratitude position, and go get your better life.
I
your
agree
better self.
I agree with the gratitude position. It's all about external versus internal motivation, like intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. And if you're motivated extrinsically, right, with the things that are sitting around you that you're trying to grab onto or push away, then you're never going to be motivated intrinsically. And really, the intrinsic motivation is the one that is lasting, that is truly impacting, that is coming from an internal place. I don't want to look at someone else's situation and say, oh, well, I don't want to be there, or, oh, at least I'm not there. right? So when going to Bangladesh gave me perspective, it was there's a huge world out there, and people are born into different situations that they had zero agency over, right? Zero control over. And I said, wow. That's when I got grateful for the fact that, well, okay, my situation was bad, but it could have been way worse, right? It could have been, I mean, almost to the point where you can't change your destiny. Almost to the point where, you know what, when you're sleeping on the street, right, with cows, and then somebody tells you, yeah, you can move into a 300 square meter house with marble floors and, you know, all of the gym and all of this, you go, that's not even in the realm of possibility, right? So how do you strive for something like that when I just want to eat? I just don't want to die from starvation. And that is a reality. Whoa, you know? So my perspective changed because I didn't, you know, you don't realize sometimes that there's a huge world out there that is that has polar opposites. And most of us fall in this middle realm, right? Most of us are not filthy rich billionaires. Most of us aren't starving to death, literally. Most of us are somewhere in the middle here. And we forget sometimes that there's polar opposites to life sometimes, you know, in that spectrum.
Yeah. But you know, while you were sharing this story with Bangladesh, what I thought inside, so I was focusing on the positive side, not by trying, it just came to my mind. So you said there are so many homeless people sleeping all together, the one next to each other. And I said, well, there are homeless people in every country almost. I don't know about Switzerland, but in most of the countries, there are homeless people. And I said, instead of being homeless and alone somewhere in the States or in Greece or in any other country, it's much better to be with other homeless people. At least you are not alone there. You are still homeless, same situation, but at least you share the hardships with fellow people that are in the same exact situation.
I've
And I
never
said,
thought about that.
yeah, I was thinking about it, and I said, you know, at least they're not alone. They have each other.
That's true. That's true. Well, Jessica, do you have anything to close with? Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, of course. So there was the comment of you saying there's millionaires and then there's people with nothing. But I think those are all superficial because they're not what really matters in life. What matters in life is the value you add to yourself. So I guess my challenge for you both is to not look at what's around you, look in the mirror and tell yourself an affirmation of your value. Like, I am worthy. I have air. I am alive and I am happy. And you'll see that none of that even matters at the end of the day. You claim it and you affirm it and you walk into the world showing up for yourself, whether you have $1, $1 million, it really doesn't matter. It's how you feel in that moment is what's going to define your reality. So you could have $1 million and feel like total crap, and that's going to define your reality. You can have $1 and be the happiest person in the world because you're here, you're alive. So that's my challenge for you is look in the mirror, claim it and affirm it. What is your ultimate? And use your intellect, your higher intellect to really get yourself there. Get out of this lack mentality. I'm challenging myself this week too. That's what I'm going to be doing this week.
I don't need to look in the mirror anymore. And Ryan's model, so I don't think he needs to look in it. We're good on mirrors, but I get your symbolism. I don't know, Jessica. I have a hard time with that. This is why I say I have a hard time with that. I grew up, obviously, most everyone that's watching knows my story. I grew up pretty bad, but even after I joined the Air Force, I was rolling pennies up to pay for diapers and gas for the week until payday. Rolling pennies and coins, quarters, and putting my social security number, todo a me, on there so people will accept it at the supermarket. I remember having a car, having a car that the transmission broke and it didn't have reverse, and it was $1,200 to fix it. And I didn't have $1,200, at not even close. And sometimes you get stuck in a situation where you have to back up. So here, my big butt is pushing a car out of a parking spot or into a parking spot or something where I had to use reverse and I couldn't, so I had to use reverse the ancient way, with my feet. And so I know what poor is in a certain extent. And I also know what money to burn is. And that's the situation that I'm in now. And I know everything in between. And so anyone that tells you, well, money doesn't matter, either is full of crap or has never had money, because money plays a huge role in life. This is the life that we have. Now, how huge it is, how internally important it is, what you're sacrificing. And this is the thing that I think most people are saying when they said what you said. What you're sacrificing for that money, right? I think that's the key that most people are trying to get to is, well, money's not worth everything. No, I know people that have given themselves heart attacks, literally, not figuratively, literally over money. Heart attacks over 6-7 figures. And so, no, I would say, no, it's not worth that. But having and not having, money's nice. Money makes the world go round, and you can do more good in the world with the more money you have, right? If you have a genuine good heart and you want to help people and see people better in their lives, you can do things with your money that you've earned with your genuine heart, right? But I think what a lot of people are inferring when they say, don't let money drive everything you do and just be fixated on, oh, I got to make some more money, or this is what I can do with my Versace or Armani and all that crap. Those things are just material, and they're going to all go away. Everything you buy almost is just material, and it's going to go away. Does that make it bad? No, not at all. Material stuff, it's nice. And if you earn it and you earn it with a genuine heart, great. If you can do great things with the money that you earn and help people, even better,
Yeah.
We
There
all
are so many experiences you can have. There are so many ways to help others, right? Like even animals, both animals and people, young people, old people, like homeless people. So yeah, it's money can be deep, not only superficial. It's what you use them for, because it's just a tool. It's not like
exactly. Yeah, it's just
the
a
end
tool.
reason. It's just a tool.
Yep, just a tool. But I will definitely take your advice, Miss Jessica. I will look in the mirror several times today. The other part I forgot, but I'll look in the mirror.
Yeah, own your value. Not just about the money, but you could even have, rich is only a definition. It's also like a perspective. You could be rich in love, you can be rich in money, materials, whatever, but whatever that is for you, affirm it and claim it, because it'll show up if you're feeling in that good vibration. But if you're in a low vibration, you're not going to feel it. So it doesn't really matter what your perspective is. It's ultimately the mind and heart connection, connect the two, so you can have good things.
Yeah, I agree 100% with what we tell ourselves, how we feel, our perspective is so important. People keep themselves poor in every aspect of life, in health, in finance, in love. They keep themselves poor because their perspective is off. Their alignment is off. What they're telling themselves is off. And that's why I'm a coach. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why, I just want to see people to be able to have that aha moment. They sit with me and they go, holy crap, I've never thought about that. I'm like, oh yes, we had a breakthrough. And then we can start the ball rolling into whatever things that might be missing in one's life. Good session, you guys. This got deep. I love it. Do we have any alibis?
Alibis?
Anything else to say? Ryan, you gonna look in the mirror tonight?
I'm looking every day.
Again, Jessica, thank you so much for doing that, for coming on. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. You've added value.
Jessica, it was great.
Thank you so much for having me today. This was really great.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Good. I hope we were good hosts.
Great.
Yes,
So
always.
So guys, we hope you enjoyed everything, the discussion about the perspective, the stories we shared, our lovely guest Jessica. So I think it's time to wrap up, right?
It's time. We'll say bon voyage. Arrivederci. Ciao.
Yeah.